this video, I'll show you how to use collections in Microsoft Edge. Now, what is a collection? A collection is basically a repository which allows you to store the content within Microsoft Edge. Now, what type of content would you like to store? Now, there are multiple options through which you can store the content within the collection. Now, take for example, one use case would be like if you're researching for some project or operation or some engagement, uh, be it a professional or a personal scenario. So, take for example a personal scenario. Say if you are planning for a visit to, say, some country or some city, you might want to do some research. Or if you want to buy a phone, then you would do some research. If you want to buy a say, take for example, say some wire like a USB cord, or if you want to buy any artifacts or grocery item, and if you want to do some research before even buying some before making that buy decision, then you can use collection. So there are multiple use cases. I've just given you some of the use cases, but let's take an example. Like if I want to do some research before flying to, say, some country, okay, or maybe some city. So what I'm gonna do is, like, say if I want to visit Canberra, okay, so I'll just say I'll just go to, say, first the website google.com, and then I will start uh, searching for information. So places to visit in Canberra, okay. And now there are like so many websites gets popped up. So first I get a summary of the city, and then I get to see various websites like visitcanberra.com, and then cultural attractions, and then depending on your Google settings, you might see some different websites. Now, collections. Now in Edge, if you click on three dots over here, so let me show you, let me minimize this screen and then show you. So if I click on three dots over here, I have an option to see collections. Okay, so the keyboard shortcut is Control Shift and Y. Okay, now if I click on collections and if I see these options, I get this pop up. Okay, now it says use collections on the go. So once you're logged into your Edge profile, you can access it in your mobile device or tablet devices as well, or different operating system like iOS and Android. Let me click on got it, and I'll say I want to start a new collection. So I'm visiting Canberra, so I'll just say visiting Canberra, and then I will just press enter. Now this is the collection which I have created. Now if I go back, you can see that I've created this collection as visiting Canberra. Now I can create multiple collections. So if I want to buy a phone, so I'll just say phone buy. I just click on start new collection and I'll say phone buy 2025. Press enter, go back, and then I have two collections. Similarly, I can create another start new collection. I'll say health exercise. So if I want to do an exercise at home, and then if I have this various content from YouTube or TikTok or Facebook, I just want everything to be stored in one common place. Okay, now I'll say health exercise, and that's it, right? Now I have created this three collections. So let's go into visiting Canberra. So if I click on visiting Canberra over here, I have an option. So I can directly add this content over here, or maybe I can perform some other action. Now, before we even move forward, let's pin this. Okay, so if I click on this pin collections, I'll just click on pin collection, and then it will be staying within my browser. So as you see over here, it has been pinned onto the right hand side. Now I'll just explore the content over here, and now I can see some useful information. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy this information. So this is good information, so I'll just copy this content. Now I have an option to copy this. I'll just copy this. And here I have an option to create a note. So I'll create a note, and then I will paste this content. So this content will persist now. Now just to show you, I'll just close this over here, then go back to the collections. I'll click on three dots, go to the collections, and then I can see various collections, and visiting Canberra is one of them. collection. Now collection has a text content. Now I can go ahead and add my own text. Okay, Canberra is capital of Australia. I can do a formatting. So as you see over here, I can do a formatting. If I click on it, I can do something. I can make a header 1, header 2, header 3 paragraph. I can make it bold, italic, underline. I can put some bullet points, and even I can change the color of the note, and I click on save. So this is, we have copied one of the content. Now let's go ahead and see this. Oh, Australian War Memorial. So I can see this image over here. So I have an option. I can, let's see if I can scroll through some information. So I have this old Parliament House, Australian National Botanical Garden. I can go inside in any of this URL. Okay, so let's go into this website. So 10 things to do in Canberra. This website looks good. I have an option to add it over here. How do I go ahead and do that? I just do a right click and say add page to collections, and then I get the list of collections over here. I'll just select visiting Canberra. So what I did, I just did a right click, add page to collection, visiting Canberra, and as you see over here, this has added into this particular collection. Let's go back, and as you see, the image has been updated for this collection, so it looks pretty now. Okay, so visiting Canberra. Now I have this image over here. So as you see, this is an image. Okay, I have an option. I can send this to Excel, send to OneNote, Word, etc. I'm not going to demonstrate that, but there are multiple options. So I can add a page. So if I go into accommodation, I can see that this is an accommodation page. So let me go ahead and add the current page. So if I click on add a current page, I can add multiple pages. So like that, I can go to travel information, visit information, add a current page, and then I have added this content over here. So this is how basically you can use collection to store related information in a specific bucket so that this information is readily available for you when you want to make a decision. So this is useful in terms of formulating information if you're doing some activity or a project or an operation. You can use this in your day-to-day activities as well. So as I'm a developer, if I want to do some research on say some specific topic, okay, I go ahead and create a collection, and then I store this information within the collection, and then whenever I want, I can retrieve this information back. Now I've seen people using Microsoft Edge, and I've seen people opening multiple tabs at once. 5, 6, 10 tabs are okay, but then I've seen people opening 100 tabs or 60 or 70 tabs at once, and you only forget like which tab you have opened, what is the purpose of it, and you do not have an intention to close the tab because you do not want to lose the information. Now if that is the case, I would highly recommend using collection so that all your information is collected in one page. Now this is similar to the bookmark feature, but then this has got the more visual interface. So in bookmark, so if I just do a right click and go to manage favorites, I got this bookmark, but then this is stored in a folder structure. It will store only the hyperlink. So if I go into say any of the folder over here, I have an option to add a favorite, so which is just a link. But here you can add a content as well. So that's the difference between a bookmark and a collection. Now, alternatively, like if you're connected to Microsoft 365, you have an option to even send this information to Excel. So you can take all this information and then you can save this in Excel, Word, OneNote, or you can even sort this content. Now we have created this content one by one. Now I can sort this by name. Now it is sorted by name. I can remove the sorting. I can say sort by date created, or maybe I'll just go sort by and sort by recently used. And this is how I can use this information. Now I can select this information and I can say, I do not want this information over here. I can go ahead and delete this information. So it has gone from this collection. Make sure that you, before delete, because there's no way to get it back. So make sure that you take utmost precaution before you even delete the content. Alternatively, if you do not want this collection on the right hand pane, you can unpin the collection, and then collection will be now floating in your Microsoft Edge. or you can just spin this collection over here. If you close this, the collection will go away. If you click on three dots, collection can come back. Now, if I go into any of the other websites, so if I just go into, see, let me get into the link. So let me go into about us. And now if I want to add this, as I showed it to you, I can do a right click and I can do to add page to collection, and then I can get to the collection over here. But while researching, if you encounter a scenario whereby you think that, oh no, I need to add another collection. Okay. So I can create start new collection from here, and then it will say added to May 5, 2025. But the name of the collection, now if let me go into the name of the collection over here. In the name of the collection, it has added the date. Okay, and you do not want this date. You are exploring something else. So you're exploring, say, about cities. So you can anyways come over here, open this, and then you click on this name and say about cities, and then you can save this information. Now as you see over here, about cities has come, and then you can see all the collection. So over a period of time, you will have many collection listed over here, and then you would also like to search those collections. So there are options to search those collections. If you click three dots over here, you can even show this collections button in toolbar. So I'll click on show collections button in toolbar, and then within the toolbar the collection button will appear. You can also learn more about the collection just by clicking over here, which will take you to the external link, and then you can get the information. Now you can in fact delete an entire collection. You select the collection and then you delete the collection, or you go within a collection as I showed it to you. You can delete the information within the collection. So just by clicking over here, and you can click on the delete button. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically use collection. Now remember, collection is specific to a profile. Now I'm logged into Microsoft Edge, and this is one of my profile. Now if you create a collection in one profile, you cannot access that collection in another profile. Okay, so remember, whenever you start creating a collection, you first check which profile are you logged in within Microsoft Edge, and then accordingly start creating collection. Now, collection is a useful feature within Microsoft Edge to organize yourself. I gave you a couple of examples with regards to if you're doing a research to buy a phone, or if you're doing a research to visit a city, or if you are troubleshooting a problem and then the problem is specific to some topic, like say, if I'm troubleshooting why my Windows PC is running slow. So then I'll create a collection, and then I'll start getting the information from different website. I'll start storing in collection, and then later on, if I want to retrieve this information back, I can easily go ahead and get this information back. Now it is all about organizing within Microsoft Edge. You can either use a bookmark, you can either open it in tabs, or you can view the collection and then start getting information and retrieved very quickly. That's it, folks. This is all about using collections within Microsoft Edge. Thanks for watching.